Hey everybody, Stock Picks by Tim back at you again, and I want to get into Bitcoin, and I want to get into a couple of stocks that I've been buying lately, and just some things I've been watching in the market. And first off, let's look at AMD. It is actually breaking out from 100. Now for AMD, I did not wake up early enough to break this one out on that 100. And, honestly, the RSI is a bit overbought. I don't expect it to take much more, but we'll see where it goes. We are at 101.50. So if you guys did break that breakout from 100, you could have scalped it real quick, made a little bit of profit. I missed out on it, and I honestly don't think it's going to push much further. Now, for the long term, I do think AMD is a great buy while it's under $100. And just keep an eye on it. I do think that if we do break 100, we can break it to the downside and play that breakout to the downside. Our next resistance point would be about $105. We did kind of bounce up there, find a resistance here. So that would be the next breakout trade at about 105. So if we do push higher, you're going to want 105 for the breakout. And if we push lower, I'd say $100 breakout to the downside would be a great time to scalp AMD on a put. And of course, as I've said before, while it's under $100, it is great for a long-term investor, I personally think. And also, if you're curious about their earnings, I'll leave you guys a link below, or just look through my channel. I've covered AMD's earnings as well. And next up, we've got some Bitcoin news, actually. And the president of El Salvador actually announced that 44 countries are going to be meeting him to discuss Bitcoin. And I'll leave you guys a link for this. It goes into the countries that are going to be meeting. A lot of countries from Africa, South America obviously too. But here's something interesting that I wanted to quote from this article. It took 12 years for the first country to adopt Bitcoin, around 8 months for the second. And if Panama's president signs their recent Bitcoin bill into law, then they will be the third, only about a month after the second. Now, countries from all over the world are meeting in El Salvador to discuss financial inclusion and how adopting Bitcoin can benefit their countries gradually, then suddenly. And checking out Bitcoin, we are hovering right around $30,000. I see it as a great time to add to it. And I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin. While it's under 40,000, I will be continuing to DCA, but a little heavier while we're under 30, and a little lighter while we're anywhere from 30 to 40. But I do see the next month to 6 months as a great opportunity to add to Bitcoin. I personally expect that we're just going to be in, anywhere from 25,000 to about 40,000 over the next 6 months. And then we will be on our next push. Now you'll notice we had our drop. Now we're kind of consolidating. I personally think we're going to trade a little more tighter. We're going to get that volatility contraction pattern. Look into that if you don't know what it is. But our volatility is going to calm down. We're going to start trading kind of sideways, and then I expect it to choose a direction. I would argue to the upside, but we will see which direction it takes. We are still quite a ways from the next halving. We're right in the middle point now. But as we inch closer, there will be more bullishness on Bitcoin, and I think inevitably the price will start rising. And also, Astra just had their space day on May 12th, and I'll leave you a link below for that, but we've got about an hour and a half long video. I highly recommend you look into it. Now, looking at Astra, we were in this downward wedge, we broke out of it, but then we just fell under it. And funny enough with Astra, after Space Tech Day, it has just been coming up. That was our low point on the 12th, funny enough. And that was at 212. Now we are pushing our way towards 3. I see it as a great time to add. We've been creating higher lows, higher highs, and the price is still extremely beaten down. Definitely very bullish on Astra, and we will be getting some launches very soon. Now, I also wanted to mention Ford. I have been adding to this one, and there's really not much going on the chart. I just see it as a great time to add while it's under 14 bucks. We did break from our downward channel here. We popped above it. I think it's a great time to add to this one while it's under 14 specifically. Next up is Bionanogenomics, or BNGO, and we actually just recently had a publication by the Hospital of Zhangzhou, and it highlights the utility of OGM, and I will leave you guys a link to the paper. Now looking at BNGO, we are having a nice 5% day today. I personally don't care that it's up 5%. I still see it as a great time to add. Just be aware you are going to have faith in this company long term. But let me know what you think about BNGO in the comments below. And next up, I want to mention another stock I have been slowly adding to. And this one's going to be Matterport, or MTTR. Now I have said that I'm just about fully built out on this one. But now that it's down here in this $5 area, I did take advantage and just bought a few. And this one has fallen hard from its roughly $30 top. I love it at this price. They're expanding into more countries. Japan is taking a look at Matterport now. They are the biggest company in terms of digital twins. And I'm extremely bullish on their technology over the long term. And I really like this one while it's under a $2 billion market cap. But I am fully built out on it, so I really hope it starts turning around because I really don't want to add much more to it. I am at about a 3% position size. For me, for these smaller caps, that's typically where I want to go to, about a 2 to 3% position. And that's also due to the fact that I have so many small caps. But be careful, guys. Don't go all in to any one stock. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but some of you just tell me that you're all in on one stock, and that just blows my mind. Now, one stock that I would be comfortable going 100% in is going to be Indi semiconductors. I'm just kidding, guys, but I definitely see Indi as a great stock to own. And you know, our earnings came out. There's a lot of pessimism, a lot of fear coming in this one. I was very convinced that their earnings would come out good, and even the CEO, the executives gave us that news that, you know, they're going to be at the top line of the revenue. Things I thought were looking good. And sure enough, they gave their earnings, and I will leave guys a link below if you want to listen to it. But earnings came out, they gave a good outlook. They were right in the top line of their revenue, as they said, that 22 million. They have a huge backlog of orders, and I'm extremely bullish on Indi. I think personally that this is going to be my 10x or higher over the next few years. And in terms of semiconductors, I'm actually more bullish on Indi than I am for AMD, and I think Indi will outperform compared to AMD, but we will see in time. Alright guys, that's all I got for you. Just kind of a hodgepodge of information, letting you know what I'm kind of buying, my thoughts on Bitcoin, just some things going on. But thanks as always guys, and I will see you next time.